Hey everyone, Ivan Mohan here, and in today's quick video, I'm going to share with you 3 simple steps to increase your performance as a leader. So I think we're generally quite lousy when it comes to evaluating our own performance as a leader. When it comes to our team performance, we're really good. It's easy to be compassionate with other people, to say, this is what you did really well, this is what I think you're really amazing at, these are your strengths, and these are some areas that I think you can develop in. When it comes to ourselves, and we give that big presentation, and there are key stakeholders in the room or your directors watching you, it's easy to think, oh, I didn't do a good job, I spoke too quickly, I wasn't confident, my point didn't come across, and I think that's where we stumble. So as a leader, it's really important to objectively appraise our own performance in a way that is supportive and compassionate and loving, essentially, to ourselves. So the 3 steps that we need to follow in order to improve our performance comes from a place of first grounding ourselves in a sense of positivity, and then looking at how we can constructively improve ourselves. So if we look at these 3 steps and break down some of the components, one of the things that I think is really important to remember is to always be looking at your performance in a way that helps you move the needle forward. It's not looking for a lack, it's not looking at things in a critical manner for the sake of looking at things in a critical manner, but it's looking at how we can progress and move the needle forward as a leader to ultimately become better at what we do. So firstly, to improve your performance, number 1 is to ask the right questions. When we look to evaluate our own performance, I think a lot of us get bogged down into why don't we do that well, why this, why that. And as a coach, been doing this for the last 10 years, one of the things that we get taught at the start is to never ask why. Why always comes from a place of justification. If you think about your earliest memories of why, it's your parents asking you, why did you do that? Why did you break this? Why did you do whatever it is? And so it always brings up this emotional connection of a sense of justification rather than reason and logic. So when I say the right questions, I mean exactly that. It's asking yourself really empowering, insightful questions that provide you with the basis of understanding that you need. And so some of these questions can be around, how can I improve X? What do I need to do better next time, etc., etc. But the formulation of the question is really important. So it's asking the right questions. If you get this wrong, then you are in the danger of curbing your performance. You are in the danger of providing yourself with a negative image of really what your performance has been like objectively. And so that's why I say it needs to be the right questions. If you do this well, then it leads us onto the second part, and the second part is gaining insight and self-knowledge. So if you ask yourself the right question, you'll come up with the right types of self-knowledge and insights into your behaviors and emotion. And so having a sense of self-awareness, self-insight, and self-knowledge, it enhances your ability to objectively reflect on yourself. So start with the right questions. Number 2, go on to understand and gain self-awareness, self-insight, and self-knowledge. That in itself is a really good cyclical motion. Right questions, self-awareness, self-knowledge, and insights. And if you keep doing that alone, you'll be poised to really understand your performance. Whilst that is really good in the first 2 steps, the last step, the third step, is then some sort of transformation and some sort of action as a result of this self-awareness. I think, there's so much information on Google, there's so much information in the world that's great, but sometimes there's an oversaturation of it. And so what we need as a result of this information is some sort of action. So it's thinking, what can we do to move the needle forward by understanding what the transformation is and what the action is there to then set for ourselves. So if we recap, so asking the right questions. Secondly, gaining some sort of insight or some sort of self-knowledge into those questions. And then lastly, the setting the action or understanding what transformation needs to happen in order to make a move. If you follow this process, you can objectively appraise your own performance. And then once you understand how to do this for yourself, then you can do it for your team as well. So try this out, see what it does for your leadership, see what it does for your performance, and go from there.